Cristian Romero slammed for Tottenham red card at Man United in wake of social media controversy. Cristian Romero was sent off in the first half of Tottenham's Premier League game at Man United. Red followed a social media outburst in which he appeared to call the club's squad building disgraceful. Thomas Frank had stood by his captain, but this was his sixth sending off at Spurs. Tottenham captain Cristian Romero was slammed for his red card at Man United, which let his team down. Romero had made headlines earlier this week after a social media post in which he used the word disgraceful after referencing how stretched Spurs' squad was after the 2-2 draw with Man City, in an apparent dig at the club's recruitment. It followed a previous social media post in January in which Romero accused the club's hierarchy of lies. In a since-edited post, he wrote, "They only show up when things are going well to tell a few lies." On Thursday, head coach Thomas Frank said the latest matter had been dealt with internally and stood by his skipper, starting him on Saturday against United. However, just 29 minutes into the match, Romero was shown a straight red for a challenge on Casemiro, leaving his teammates the task of facing in-form United for over an hour with 10 men. Cristian Romero is ordered from the field after being shown a red card by referee Michael Oliver. It is Romero's second red card of the season and means he is facing a 4-game ban, which will include the North London derby. "It's an absolute nightmare for Thomas Frank," said former Spurs captain Michael Dawson on Soccer Saturday. "This is a disaster for Thomas Frank. As a manager, you're sitting in 14th and you're going, 'My captain has come out and said this.' Now he leaves his team down to 10 men. I'm baffled. As a captain, you're supposed to lead by example. You leave your team vulnerable, 10 men at Old Trafford. You're losing your captain and one of your best players. He's let his team down again today." Romero has now been sent off 6 times across all competitions since his Spurs debut in August 2021. That's more than any other player in the competition in that period. He has seen red 4 times in the Premier League, the joint most by a Spurs player with Yunus Kabul. He was also dismissed against Liverpool this season in December when he was handed a fine and an additional game ban for failing to leave the field of play promptly. Reaction to Romero's red. Here's how we covered Romero's first half red card on Sky Sports. Michael Dawson on Soccer Saturday. "Romero comes through, he thinks there's a tackle there, it's full throttle, he follows through. I don't need Mike Dean, I don't need VAR, it's not going to be overturned." Romero caused Frank problems with his social media posts this week. He's now given him a major problem on the pitch with that bad tackle. What was that word Romero used in his social media post? Disgraceful. Paul Merson on Soccer Saturday. "I hope this doesn't get silly and Man United win 4-5, and then the Tottenham fans are sitting in the pub after going, 'If everybody was like Romero, we'd be all right. If everybody got stuck in. He's the reason they'll probably get beat now. He's the reason.' Unbelievable." A month of headlines for Romero. January 7th. Accuses club hierarchy of lies. January 8th. Frank defends Romero and calls him a true captain. February 2nd. Romero uses the word disgraceful after referencing the lack of depth in the Spurs squad. February 5th. Frank says he wouldn't have posted that on social media, but refers to Romero as passionate and ambitious. February 7th. Romero gets a straight red card for a dreadful tackle at Old Trafford.